Yo, what's up guys, welcome to a new video. In the video of today I'm gonna show you 5 tips for staying alive longer and escape from Tarkov. Anyways, let's get started. So I want to point out that these tips won't save you every time, but I can say that it will have positive effects on your survival rating. On to the first one, relocating. Relocating is very important. This is a good tip for solo player and for squads. By constantly relocating, it's very difficult for the opponent to determine where you are and where to shoot. This puts them in a certain situation and you have an advantage. So make sure you don't sit in the same spot for too long. Sitting in the same place for too long can also make you vulnerable to grenades, because most of the players start throwing grenades on you just right away. And when you're still sitting in your corner, they exactly know where you are and just gonna dump grenades in there, you die. So on to the second tip. Don't loot right away. It's fairly simple, but for many people very difficult to understand and do. It's a normal reaction that you want to see the loot and as soon as you killed someone, because of course you want to know what they have. But don't do this. There's a Tarkov proverb that says there's always one more, so make sure you clear before you loot. I've always got something like the loot laying around will stay there, it will not run away, so you can first clear and then you can grab the loot. And also what is often done, and I'm sure you have done it yourself sometime, is your mate is dead. They haven't seen you and you just wait in the corner before they pass and start looting your friend's body, and once they're on your friend's body you just shoot them while looting. So make sure that you have everything cleared before you start looting and you can't be killed from unexpected locations. On to the third tip. You don't always have to sprint. Now I'm gonna explain this to you what I mean. When your character is sprinting, he keeps the gun down because it's running. As soon as you see someone, it really takes about a second before he gets his gun up, so you can hip fire or aim. So when you walk, your character is already with his gun up and you will be able to hip fire or aim and shoot directly. It's something very small, but it can mean the difference between life and death. Now, I don't mean that you should never sprint it again, because sometimes that's necessary if you're traveling over longer distances. But when you're walking around corners, clearing things and stuff, it's not wise to sprint around the corner. I mean, this is pretty obvious, but I've killed people so many times and I've been killed myself so many times in the beginning. And then when I applied this, I noticed that it saves you from time to time. It's hard to change the way you play, but if you didn't do this yet, I would definitely try it. And as I said again, it's so simple. Just don't sprint around the corner when you're clearing. Just keep the gun up, walk around the corner, slowly clear it, and then you will be able to spot the guy faster and even shoot faster, so it has lots of benefits to it. You notice, and it's quite logical, but if you start running more instead of sprinting, you automatically play slower. And if you play slower, you notice that you can hear everything much better and spot people more often. Besides that, sprinting makes lots and lots of noise and people can hear you moving everywhere. So they just wait quietly until you come around the corner and you get 20 bullets in your head. So on to the fourth tip. Now this has some common ground with the previous tip, but I thought it was important to share this with you as well. Crosshair placement. Now sometimes I look back at my recordings when I'm dead and I do some kind of small analysis for myself, and what strikes me sometimes is my crosshair placement. And for example, I come into the dorms and then I see that I'm aiming at leg height, and it's a pretty bad thing because when you shoot bullets with high penetration you want to aim at the head to bend the face shield or thorax or something. By the way, you always want to do that unless you go for a leg meta. So that's also something I want to tell you. Really aim for the head. And I know this again sounds easy, but it's hard to adopt it in your playstyle if you were always aiming at the legs. This is going to make you kill people a lot quicker and also live instead of dying. So for the last tip, I'd like to talk about food and drink. This is something you often don't think about. You just rocked 4-man squad and it's still 10 minutes into the raid. You have a backpack full and you walk very slowly. Suddenly you get tunnel vision and you see that you get damage. And then you see that you have fatigue and you're drying out. You're almost at the extract and die because you dehydrated.
Nice.
I also suggest filling it all the way up to 100 and don't skip out on that little 10 hydration or food missing. During the raid also check regularly if you need to drink or eat, so you can look out for it. It also can help if you always make sure you have a bottle of water and food or juice in your backpack.
Juice time.
Hopefully this will help you and you can use it in your raids. So thank you guys for watching, like it if you liked it and dislike if you did not like it, and see you guys in the next one.